Hey, Diana. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up on the way in and hit the share button. Sharing is Karen. Sorry, I am late. Can you guys hear me in the comment section? Let me know if you can hear me okay in the comment section. Microphone check good, check good, check good. Hey, Miss Antoinette. Hey, Susanna. Hey, Lori. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Double tap the screen and make sure y'all hit the share button. I'm sorry, y'all. I was actually ready. I was supposed to go live at 8:45, but for whatever reason, every time I hit the live button on Restream and on StreamYard, it kept giving me an error. So I don't know. I was trying to figure out how I could fix it, and then I just said, forget about it. I'll just go live straight from the app itself. I was trying to stream to Facebook and YouTube, and I guess technically I still could um go on Facebook from another device. I guess I could do that. Let me see. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? We have had an interesting last couple of days. We have had an interesting last couple of days. Hey Sharon, hey cuz. Please tap the screen for the thumbs up. Yes, please and thank you. Hey Lori. I don't know if I said hi to you or not, but hello. What's up, you guys? It's your girl Summer, and we are back for a little recappy cap. It's been a little minute, but I'm trying to get back into the swing of things a little bit while I got some time. For those of you who are aware, we just witnessed what many people believe was an emotional breakdown from Whitney on live stream, due to her poly relationship that she's currently involved in. Hey, Cinderella, dressed in Yalla, how are you, boo? How are you? I wanted to come in and give my personal perspective on what I think might could be happening. Everything that I say is just my personal opinion, is pretty much assumptions because none of it is facts. I'm just basing my opinion off of what I witnessed. And if you guys remember, remember when May first introduced Nisi back into her life where they were going to be poly, I had did a live right after that, and I kind of covered poly and how Whitney attempting to be poly, how it was going to be a very, very sensitive situation, that May was going to have to handle her with white gloves, that it was going to be a lot of ups and downs, a lot of roller coasters. Now, I was sitting back and I was watching, engaging a little bit as well, and a lot of people seem to have I want to say, a emotional perspective, like many of us do, because we are women and from the outside looking in, especially if you have never been in poly or understand how it goes, it looks absolutely insane. Like, why would somebody be doing this to themselves? You know what I mean? So I want to kind of give a perspective, not just from a bunch of assumptions, but someone who's actually lived poly. Not the same dynamic as them, and when I say not the same dynamic, I mean because I'm a straight female. So my dynamic involved a man and two women. um a lot of people, I think, have this fairy tale image of polygamy or poly. I'm gonna say poly. I think a lot of people have like this fairy tale image of poly, kind of like, if you gonna do it, everything's supposed to be rainbows and unicorns and sprinkles. And no, that's just absolutely not the truth. It's actually far from the truth. It's very rare that people go into relationships, especially if it's the first time. It wasn't something that you kind of ever imagined yourself in. It's kind of something you found yourself in. Um, it's not an easy role, even for somebody who comes to terms on their own with it. Like, it's not an easy role. So I kind of want to speak about the dynamic I want to speak about it from, like I said, from a dynamic from somebody who has actually lived poly, um, and things like that. Looking at the bigger picture, my opinion has changed slightly from what I mentioned earlier. Who your baby, Ronnie? Let me see. Summer, can you see Doris Mary? I said, hey, Mary. I said, hey, Mary. I said, hey, beautiful. She ain't hear me. I see her. Summers, you don't see me, woman. I wasn't reading my comments just now when I was talking, but I spoke to you. I spoke to you, and Mary is the reason why I actually seen Cinderella because I didn't even see her comment, but maybe she missed it. Oh, I'm definitely not your baby. I'm only one person's baby, and it ain't you at all. I can see you, Mary. You be talking about I don't be speaking to you, and you be missing me. You be missing me speaking to you. Can y'all hear my dogs barking in the background? Can y'all hear my dogs barking in the background? Hey, Mary, how you doing, boo? I'm gonna play. I want to play something, okay? And I want people to hear with their ears and not make assumptions. I just want people to kind of accept what they are hearing from Whitney, okay? And this is not to. I guess this is kind of like I don't want to pin Whitney or Shay against each other, but the reality is the social media, and when we are recapping and talking about the things that we witness, oftentimes we compare and we contrast. Who watched May's live when she went live with Shay at the hotel? And this was yesterday, and somebody asked Shay, I think, what made her attracted to May. And she brushed past the question. She didn't answer it. May asked her multiple times, like, what attracted you to me? She asked her several times, hey, Stephiana, you don't hear the dogs? Okay. She asked her a few times. Shay mentioned, like, dang, like you putting me on the spot. Now, this could be, I don't work well under pressure a lot of times. I hate feeling like I'm under pressure. I don't like being put on the spot. So she could have simply been nervous. However, she was doing just fine on the live, chit chatting, reading comments, giving her input and, her perspective or shooting people down before that question came up. Hey, Karen, how you doing? And but like I said, May asked her a few times, even herself, and she did not give an answer. And I was watching and I was like, ouch. Only because May is has been trolled on social media and people like to make up their own idea of what is truth. They like to create their own um narrative about like what's facts, what's false, and things like that. So for Shay to be put on a spot about a question that's kind of simple. It could have been a very simple answer. Like I said, but she could have been nervous, like giving her the whatever. It just looked like it was like ouch. It was hard to watch. Hey, sweet boo, how you doing? Let me know in the comments. You missed that part? It's right at the end of that live that they did, right towards the end, before May ends the live. And I was like, damn, like she could have said anything. I like her vibe. I like the way she made me feel. She make me smile. She got a beautiful smile. I like her personality. I like her how she is bold, blunt. I mean, just so many even generic things she could have pulled out the sky. Hey, dramas and doobies. I've been on your page. I got a video I gotta finish watching. She's been covering, for those of you who don't know, or I'm not don't know, for those of you who remember Kim Possible, she got some stuff going on in her life right now. And if you've been out the loop, go catch the updates on Dramas and Doobies page. Cause I've been peeping at Kim Possible content. I said Kim Possible is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She didn't want to answer. Hey Donna. Period. And that's what I'm getting to. When Whitney was asked the very same question, what attracted you to May? I want y'all to listen to what Whitney says, okay? If y'all missed it, I'm gonna play the clip for y'all. Let me know if y'all can hear it, okay? I'm about to play it for y'all. What attracted me to May? Shit, I met May. Well, I came across May on TikTok. Can y'all hear? It was her confidence, her swagger about herself. Hey, Teresa. What attracted me to May? Shit, I met May. Well, I came across May on TikTok. It was her confidence, her swagger about herself.
The way she styled her hair, the way her ass, she didn't give a fuck about nobody on TikTok. Her personality, shit, it was a lot that attracted to me her initially. Like her boss demeanor, she didn't give a fuck. She ran the show. It was a lot, you know. Y'all know how I met her. We went through the story a million times. Like came across her live TikTok. And shit, I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to see what it was like to date her. You know, this was back when she had a husband. So I just wanted to see what it was all about. But you know, now we almost 3 years into this shit. So and I ain't going nowhere. So I'm glad I scrolled past her live on TikTok. And here we are. So.
This was yesterday when she was asked this week. Whitney joined May's live when she was getting ready, I guess, to go out for Taco Tuesday, and somebody asked her about what attracted her. And the whole time Whitney was answering that question, she had this big smile on her face. Like you could tell the words she was speaking was genuine, and she wasn't confused about what she felt and why she felt it. Even with we all know like Whitney's initial, she was trolling May. She's admitted that. They came out, she finally admitted it, and in the midst of her trolling her, she fell in love with her. But for her to just be able to come out and run it out like that, I'm like, you can't look at that with her speaking and say like that's not genuine. I'm like, I felt like you could see the love in that interaction. Like you could see like she meant everything she said. She thoroughly enjoys it. And I think she kind of sometimes, because I know a lot of people watching this live, May definitely ran down on Whitney on this live. And I was like, ouch, like dang, not on the live. But that's May's demeanor. It always has been. And Whitney knows that. And the moment that Whitney joined that live, she was doing little stuff to poke at May. I think she gets enjoyment out of seeing May react. And a lot of people get offended by it, but that's their relationship, that's their dynamic. Oftentimes we try to make another person's relationship ours, not understanding the way you may want to be treated, and the dynamic of your relationship is not the reality of somebody else's relationship, what she may be into. And they both said they like that toxic stuff. They like that toxic stuff. And I feel like almost every time Whitney has joined May on a live stream, this has been like her thing. Like she always do something to kind of get under May's skin. She know how to tick her wife off. And I think she actually enjoys that side of May. I think she actually enjoys that side of May. And I've witnessed this like in person. Like she will do things to nitpick to get a response out of May, or whatnot. Let me see. My opinion is Whitney is an adult and can make her own choices. She knows what she got herself into. So if she doesn't want to be there, she will leave. Everyone's making Whitney a victim is delusional. I agree. Let me see. What did Cinderella say? She continues to say she loves her wife. Okay, I kind of remember when she said husband. Let me see. Hey Mel, I received that. I just seen it at the top of my screen a few moments ago, Melly Mel. So, and then in her, let me see if it uploaded yet. Is another video that I want to show you guys. It did. Okay. I'm gonna let y'all listen to that clip in a second. So a lot of people were in the comments. The first questions was them trying to, ask questions about Shay, how she feel about Shay, and this, that, and third. She mentioned how she misses her wife. She can't wait for her to come home. Now, I definitely thought that. Did y'all hear when Whitney was like, "You know what's gonna go down when you get home?" And May was like, "Yeah, I know." I'm like, Whitney, please, what's gonna go down, Whitney? Like, what's gonna go down? Like, what's really going? What you talking about? Like, stop it. Um, I definitely don't look at Whitney as a victim. A lot of people want to make it seem like Whitney has not made this decision for herself. I don't know is why people think that like May has this magical hold over Whitney. I see that a lot of people think that Whitney is incapable of um living on her own. Whitney has a job. She's had a job this whole time. She's contributed to the household this whole time. Um And I don't think Whitney would have any problem financially with going out, getting her own place, and maintaining it on her own with her income. I think that Whitney is very much so capable of going out and getting her own place. She may not be able to keep that truck because we all know that the payment for that is a big payment. She might have to let that truck go. But I think that she would be more than capable of going to get her own spot and securing a vehicle. I don't think that Whitney is being held against her will. I don't think that Whitney is staying because she has nowhere else to go. Something else I want to talk about real quick is I loved hearing Whitney say when somebody told her to go back to Michigan. She said, "I'm not going back to Michigan." She said, "Michigan is a death trap." And I don't know if y'all understood what she was saying, but many of us know who's been watching everything unfold that when Whitney first came from Michigan, she battled with some addictions. One of those addictions, from what we know, she has totally let go. She doesn't indulge in it at all. Um, we know that she drinks. From our understanding, what we're told is that she doesn't drink as much as she used to. She said she used to down like a pint. I think it was a pint, whatever that big bottle is. Like, not the, I think it was a pint. She said she used to down one of those every day after work. Like, that was her everyday routine. And from what we're told, Whitney doesn't drink anywhere close to that. Now, yesterday, I think she was drowning her sorrows. I'm not going to lie. So we seen her popping at Tito's, but she acknowledged in that moment that going back to Michigan, returning back to her old stumping grounds where she's comfortable at, would be a disservice to how far she has come. And I absolutely loved her acknowledging that. I absolutely loved her acknowledging that, because a lot of people don't realize that sometimes when you return back to the very place where all of your turmoil was, where all of your um where you were most comfortable, when you go back around those very same people. Yes, I'm on YouTube, Alexis. Come on over, Peach, because I'm going to actually end this since it's dead over there. So I want to applaud Whitney for knowing that boundary and understanding she is not ready to return back to that. And I hope nobody else after hearing that would suggest that she goes back to Michigan. Um, I thought that was super dope. Like, that she understood her boundary. Like, true. I really was like, okay, wit, big wit, not the little wit. Like, a lot of people don't acknowledge that until it's too late. A lot of people, repeat the same downfall over and over because they don't realize they need to remove themselves from a certain environment in order to have success. Hey, Peach Girl. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. Shout out to Whitney for acknowledging that and stand on that. Now I understand why she said she was going to stay in Texas when her and May had talked about actually divorcing. Something else I want you guys to hear is, I think a lot of people, for whatever reason, don't want to accept what's coming out of Whitney's mouth. It's kind of like people want to only hear what they want to hear. They've made up their mind about what it really is, what her truth is, but they're not accepting what's coming out her mouth. Whitney is a grown woman and able to tell her own truth. And when she explained why she loves her wife, I'm like, do y'all not hear her explaining that she loves her wife? Do y'all not hear her saying she not going nowhere? She don't want to leave. She does not want a divorce. 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 And I don't think people are listening to what she's saying. Hold on, let me see.
Y'all know how I love my wife. So
She love her wife. Right, we covered that, Peach.
Purple.
She said, I don't want no effing divorce. I don't know what part about that y'all don't understand. Why y'all keep trying to push me to divorce? This clip longer than what I thought it was. I'm trying to find the part where she's asked and she answers.
What about your happiness? I don't happy.
She said, I don't look happy.
Okay? May's not my fucking teacher or my principal. I'm not following the fucking rules.
No, you are right, Peach.
Coke? I don't know fucking Coke. I don't got the energy to block you. Don't give a fuck. Think what you want to think. I'll do it till I'm a cent. And that's cool. But I love my wife.
Listen.
Y'all can request.
Listen, here go the part right here. Somebody gonna ask her.
I was bored and chilling. What I love about my wife, all y'all gonna do is say I'm a simp, and that's cool. But I love my wife. I feel safe. I feel secure with my wife. I don't have to worry about shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, my wife gonna always have my best interest at heart, and y'all can twist and turn that any way y'all want. I don't give a fuck.
She said, I love my wife. She says she make me feel safe, secure, and she always has my best interest at heart. That's major. You know how many people are in relationships and want that in a relationship and fight to have it and never get it? She's saying that she has that with her wife. So, and she's saying that y'all say that when a person is drunk, they speak a sober mind. So we can't go back and forth about what it is and what it ain't. We can't go back and say, no, she was lying. She was drunk. She don't know what she's saying. Because just a few weeks ago when she was drunk online, not a few weeks ago, I'm exaggerating, like the time before it was, oh no. She was telling the truth, a drunk mind speaker. No. She was very clear on why she loved her wife and that she don't want to go nowhere. But people want to convince her that because they decided because Whitney chose to agree to these terms, however it came about, where they discussed poly to be in it, that is wrong because a lot of people don't understand poly. And I say that because it's people in the comments um, of the dialogues that's happening saying she's cheating on you, she's cheating on you. Poly is not cheating. When people are aware of something and they consent to it, that's not cheating. You may not like the idea of a non-monogamous traditional relationship, but the facts is the facts. Poly is very much a thing. There are a lot of relationships that hold a poly dynamic that are becoming more public, it's becoming more common. And just because it's unfamiliar to you or something that you were not taught to understand or accept doesn't make it wrong. It just means that it's not for you. It just means that it's not for you. In this situation, Whitney has made a decision to try something to save her marriage because she has explained that she loves her wife. Whitney has boundaries that prevents her from fully opening up to her wife in areas that are important to her wife for their relationship to flourish. So, an option for them to continue was to invite someone else into the relationship to kind of combat that. This is a compromise. This is a solution. And I said this before, like Whitney ain't never did. She came in, she didn't want to do poly, she didn't want to share, but I think that now she acknowledges, hey, I understand this is not going to work. This has not worked in any of my other previous relationships. She explained that all of her other relationships that she was in ended up ending because her partners cheated on her. And ultimately, they cheated on her because she was not willing to open up in an area of the relationship that was important to those individuals. She continuously runs into this same hurdle. And so instead of her doing the same thing, she decided to try something new. It's nothing wrong with that. It may work, it may not work. This role is not an easy role. It's not. And I speak from experience. I have shared before, I was married in poly before. Poly was not something that I grew up knowing about. Poly wasn't something that I was like, oh, when I was a little girl, oh, when I get older and get married, I'm going to be married to a man that has more than one wife. No, that was never the way I envisioned being in a marriage. However, as I got older, um, and understood more about some men, not all men, does not desire that, but a lot of men, inside and outside of marriage, and now inside and outside of religion, and now also me understanding from watching May, it's not even just a religion thing. It's some people that choose to live that way and acknowledge their wants, their desires, their needs in life. And a lot of people are okay with that. And even people who are okay with that, the very thing that we saw happen the other night, because if I'm going to make an assumption, I'm going to say this. I definitely think that Whitney is struggling with the idea of poly, which is natural. It's normal to struggle with the idea of poly, especially when you come from a place where all you know is monogamous. When all you know is monogamy. monogamy. Am I saying that right? Especially when you come from a place where all you know is monogamy. It's not going to be an easy road. I said that months ago when they first talked about bringing Niecy in. It's going to be a rocky, rocky road for Whitney. It's not going to be an easy one. And um it's going to be a lot of emotions that she deal with. She's going to be on a roller coaster. She's going to be all over her place, all over the place. And I heard May mention that Shay is supposed to relocate to Houston. Right now, in that distance with her and Kylie gives her some peace of mind. It kind of gives her some space. It kind of gives her some space um to kind of keep it together. Kind of makes her, it kind of gives her the ability to kind of like forget about it when it's not in her face. Like when it's just her and her wife and she's not on the phone with Shay. I don't know what type of agreement they have, like whether she can talk to Shay while she's home or what that's like. But it kind of gives her the ability to kind of forget for a minute until it's back in her face. When she moves to Houston, it's going to be a whole nother battle that she has to go through if Shay and May make it to the point where she relocates to Houston. Um, and what we watched Whitney do the other day, if that was an emotional breakdown from them being involved in poly, this is normal. Many women go through these same emotions. Many women make the decision to go in poly, I myself, and then when you get in poly, it's a struggle. It's hard watching someone whom you love somebody else. It's hard watching someone whom you love engage with someone else in a romantic way. It's hard watching someone who you love be alone with someone else. And just you think about all the stuff, dang, what we was doing or the things that they like doing, they doing with them. Those thoughts are hard. There are women that get involved in poly who are the exception, not the rule, that are perfectly okay. But I got a girlfriend who she could do poly all day long, all day long, twice on Sunday. She's welcoming to the other women. Um, she don't got no beef, no problem. She's very, very, very level-headed and mellow about it. But most of the people, when she was in poly, that her husband would bring into the dynamic could not deal with it. They would try to sabotage the marriage. They would cause fights. When it's supposed to be their time, they popping up at the house because women are jealous in nature. Most of us are jealous in nature. Like I said, there are exceptions to it, but generally speaking, we are all jealous and very um possessive when it comes to the person that who we chose for ourselves. We don't Most of us don't want to share. So when you choose to branch out into that, what we saw Whitney go through, that is a part of adjusting to poly, wanting it, growing up in it, even growing up in it. People who came from families who fathers practiced it, who lived in households that had multiple mothers because their father had multiple wives. When they themselves grow up, even though they've seen it, and they marry a man who wants to practice poly, guess what? They go through most of them go through those same emotions. They go through those same hurdles. All of those things. And sometimes you come out on the other side and you catch your footing and it's great. And then other times you don't catch your footing and it doesn't work out for you and you got to move along. And this is all we are witnessing. We got to witness a small glimpse of Whitney going through the roller coaster of emotions, dealing with watching the person whom she loved, that she wants to be with, love somebody else. But Whitney is not a victim. She chose this and she's not being held captive from my perspective. I don't think she's being held down. I think that if Whitney wants to go, she can choose to get up and go, but she is choosing to stay. She is choosing to fight for her marriage. And this is just what it looks like. This is what we're seeing. And it might not be something that you yourself would become involved with or agree to, but I think Whitney is understanding most most people that she wants, the type of people she wants, especially if they are sexual people, that she's going to have to give something to get something because it's just not realistic. Now she could go out there and go find somebody that's like her, but I don't necessarily know if that's what Whitney wants, because it seems like everyone who Whitney has dealt with in her past have been the complete opposite of her. Hey, Blasted. Coast let people grow and change their minds constantly, right? um Let me see what I missed. Let me read some comments because I know I just been blobbing. I've been not reading the screen because when I read your comments, it throw me off what I'm trying to say. Uh, say a lot for those in the back. Like they didn't listen to Ivan when he said to let this go. They just want a story and drama to continue their delusional obsession. She's an adult, and she's an adult that needs mental health help. So it doesn't count. Her words and actions are insane. So because she won't do any better, people tell her. That sounds like an assumption. I don't know if she needs mental health help. I don't when I see Whitney, I don't think she needs mental health help. I think if I made an assumption, but this would be me out of ignorance because I don't understand a person being a touch me not. To me, that doesn't make any sense in a natural order of things. Um, from my perspective, I believe it is only natural for another human being to want to be loved, to want to be touched, to want to engage in an adult manner. So I don't understand this whole touch me not thing at all. So in my mind, I feel like she had to have went through something traumatic that's preventing her from breaking through that. Now she may need some assistance in that as far as mental health if she's been through some trauma, but I don't think that she is incapable of making sane decisions. I don't think that she's insane. So, and I don't think anyone is telling her what to do. I see a lot of people online coming forth telling her what she should do, which is leave her wife, because most people are telling her those things because they dislike her wife and they don't want to see it be successful. But I can't say that Whitney is insane. She doesn't give me insane. She doesn't give me insane online, and she didn't give me insane in person. So I would have to disagree with that. However, you are entitled to your view for sure. Hey Nina, hey Cherie. Let me see. Whitney is doing good, and I don't understand when people say she isn't. Like, look at where and what she came from. Right. She done gave up an addiction. She done cut back on how much she drink from what we know. She's maintaining employment. She also says she's doing a side hustle as well. It sounds like Whitney is doing her thing, doing her damn thing from where I sit. This is not always true. Sometimes people say stupid while they are drunk. That's that's true. That's true. Right, Summer? They don't want to accept that is how they choose to live their life. Like, I don't agree with it, but it's not my relationship. Right. A lot of people just can't accept poly as an option for a relationship. And it may not be for you because it's not for everybody. Everybody cannot handle poly. Is everybody can't. It's just not a thing. But let me not to be real religious or get into religion or nothing like that. So we're gonna talk about Islam, right? Many of y'all know in Islam, polygyny is a part of our religion. Men are allowed to have more than one wife. They can have up to four, so long as they can meet certain requirements. Even back in the day, when the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is in biblical times, even in his time when poly was a norm where many men had often had several wives, 10, 12, 15, 30 wives, even his wives became jealous and tried to do things to ruin relationships and throw tantrums and get emotional. There are stories where one of the wives would sabotage food, to make him feel like the wife, made things that he didn't like, smacking plates out of the hands, trying to cause fights. Like, it happens. It even back then when this was a norm, because we are women are who we are, emotional people. We are jealous individuals. We don't want nobody touching what's ours. Even in a time when poly was known, was accepted, was widely practiced, where monogamy may have been the abnormal thing. Even then, when it was normal, it still was a hardship for many women. And it doesn't get any easier because it's 2025. You have women that may be more open to it because it's 2025 and a lot of things are just simply different. But this is a normal occurrence for a person to initially enter in poly, for them to go through these emotions, especially when they are already emotionally attached to the individual who they are choosing to do poly with. Now, if you come into the dynamic and it's new for all of y'all and nobody is attached, and like you met a man and a woman and nobody knows each other, you may not care because you don't have that emotional attachment. However, once you develop those emotional attachments, once you feel a certain type of way about the individual, even though you was okay with it in the beginning, 6 months from today, you might not be so okay with it no more. And it'd be just as simple as that. A flip has switched, like boom. Like, what the hell happened? We just was cool. Everything was fine. Oh, you caught feelings. You love this individual now. And that was hard for you to see. It's not okay for you. And now you're going through the motions of trying to put yourself together. So, and I say that to say because I really think a lot of people have this um is irrational the right word? I'm gonna just say fairy tale image of what poly is supposed to look like. Like, oh, if people practice poly, they all supposed to be on the same page. It shouldn't be no rift. It shouldn't be no emotional breakdown or turmoil. That's complete crock of It's a lie. Okay, it's a lie. There are people who have practiced polygyny more than once and still go through the turmoils in the beginning of getting themselves together. And this is a life that they continuously choose over and over and over and over again. And this is not me speaking out the side of my neck or just making things up. This is stuff that I've witnessed. This is stuff that I myself have went through. Um this is stuff that I've partook in like group dialogues with other women who are in polygyny that have practiced polygyny more than once, and just hearing the same kind of stories: emotional, jealousy, unable to accept, heartbreak, crying themselves to sleep, wanting to try because this is what they feel like worked for their family. Like, it's not an easy task. It's not rainbows and gumdrops at all. And then sometimes you have that unicorn relationship where it is just beautiful from the very beginning. No hiccups, no problems, no nothing, just smooth selling. But that is the exception. That is not the rule. Let me see. Yeah, and Whitney told them trolls off a bit. Yes, she did. Shoot, I forgot how to see all the comments this way. Left a lot I found last time when Summer was live. Found them. But that was pretty much like, I just wanted to get my 2 cents for that. And I want us to listen to something real quick. Hold on. I want us to listen to this clip real quick.
Shay is the stud. I don't give
And why do everybody keep trying to say what Shay is? Why everybody won't accept that she is a no label? If she says she a no label, May says she a no label, Shay says she a no label, Whitney says she a no label, but everybody is saying they lying that she's a stud. Just because what your idea of what a stud is and what isn't is your thought process doesn't make it true. What you think is not facts. Nobody really knows who Shay is. Nobody really knows how she carries herself, or anything like that. And people are trying to say what she isn't. To me, that's absolutely insane.
What she is, okay? My wife is open to date whoever the fuck she wants to date. She can date a man. She can date a fucking dog. I wouldn't give a fuck, okay? Because we're poly, and I'm doing what I gotta do to keep my wife happy. That girl's the stud. Oh, fine, okay, she's a stud.
Whitney was over, y'all. She was overstimulated, and I guess because she was drunk, I'm like, get off the live. You could clearly see like you overwhelmed and overstimulated with people keep constantly repeating the same things over and over and over.
Y'all know how y'all know how she is. This is what we do. May does not wear white gloves with me. We are too much into this. Okay, she's gonna be aggressive. She's not gonna be like, "Oh, please don't do." Come on, you know this. Come on now.
Right, Whitney, tell them. Hey, Jack.
Fucking, when I decided to get married, I told her I was never getting divorced. You know, I didn't do this shit as a joke, a ha, a giggle. I love my wife, so.
She loves her wife. This ain't a game for her.
I fucking want to get divorced. I don't know what part about that. Purple! Clicky, no. Fuck no. Goodbye. Y'all don't fuck with me. Y'all come on my life. Stop. I can't do that shit. I'm not finna. What about your happiness? I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy.
With the teeth.
I don't look happy. Okay, so my wife had a girlfriend. She had Niecy. She had her poly queendom. Y'all wasn't saying none of this to me. Nothing. So now she's with her girlfriend now, and I'm not happy. What's up? Am I not seeing something that y'all see, or what do you mean?
Whitney said, I'm confused.
She was this way with Ivan. You gotta follow the rules. I'm not in fucking school. Okay? May's not my fucking teacher or my principal. I'm not following the fucking rules.
She not her teacher or her principal, baby.
Oh. Well. Alright. The love needs to be reciprocated. I thought it was reciprocated. I mean, in my heart, I feel like my wife loves me and is in love with me. And if she ain't, she should let it be known, honestly. Like, hey, I'm not fucking with you on this level. Pack shit up. Don't sign these papers in December and get the fuck out. I feel like she's in love with me. But if she ain't, then she ain't.
She said she feel like her wife love her.
Coke. I don't know fucking coke. I don't got the energy to block you. I don't give a fuck. Think what you want to think. Can I add others? They all dropped off and I want to add them over. Yeah, y'all can request if I want to.
Some of us were trying to ask more questions to steer away from the BS questions.
What I love about my life.
Tell them again, Whitney. Let her tell y'all again what she love about her wife. Listen.
All you're gonna do is say I'm a simp, and that's cool. But I love my wife. I feel safe. I feel secure with my wife. I don't have to worry about shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, my wife gonna always have my best interest at heart, and y'all can twist and turn that any way y'all want. I don't give a fuck. I love her. Period. I didn't plan on falling in love with May when I met her, and I did. So we here, and it is what it is. So we poly. So why am I not enough? Y'all know that. I'm gonna touch me not. First off, I may not be the best partner. I may not show up as a partner a lot, So that'll leave us to opening our marriage up. And that led us to niche. And then that led us to Nisi. And that led us to the queendom. And anybody in between. Y'all know why we're poly, I have some shortcomings. I'm taking the blame for this. It's nothing to do with my wife. But probably because of me. And I probably could walk away and be like, fuck it. Live your best life, Live your best life with who the fuck you live with. But part of me is like, I am in love with my wife. I love her. And for some fucking reason, I don't want to give up. You feel me? So I'm here. And this is our resolution to our situation. Being poly.
Y'all ain't hear what she said? Y'all ain't hear what she said? She said they in poly because of her shortcomings. She doesn't always show up in the way that she should in her marriage. And that this is their resolution. This is their resolution. She said she love it and she ain't trying to go nowhere. She said she could walk away, but she don't want to. Why is it so hard for people to just accept that?
And that led us to niche. I didn't plan on falling in love with Meg.
And she said she not new to this. This poly thing ain't new. This ain't new. This ain't new. She said y'all don't watch us go through different girlfriends trying to find a fit. Y'all act like y'all confused. Y'all know what it is. She said y'all playing these games. Y'all know exactly why we poly. Y'all know exactly what's going on. Y'all know exactly what the issue is. And yet, even though y'all know it, y'all trying to make it seem like May is this horrible person. Now, I will say this. It sounds like both of them love each other. I don't know if Whitney is going to be cut out for poly long term, but she's trying. All she could do is try and see if she can if she could work it out. If she could work it out, cool for them. Another thing too will be if that May could just walk away from her wife. But it sounds like she loves her wife and she doesn't want to just walk away from her. That she wants to try to make it work. So if two people want to try to make something work and they want to try something that's considered unconventional for y'all, why are people so pressed about that? I don't get it. I know that is a topic of discussion. So I get it. While I'm saying I don't get it, I mean, like, why are people trying to convince? And I get that too. I just can't help but ask the question that I know the answer to. Because even with me asking my girl, you know the answer to the damn questions. You know the answer. Whitney is not a victim. Whitney is very much so aware of what she signed up for, why she signed up for, and what she's trying to accomplish. And that's just it. And that's all. And I really hope that when if May did hear this, she says she didn't. If she does hear it, I hope that she looks past all the BS and understands that Whitney, from where I sat, was trying to establish, hey, I'm being accountable. We are here because of my actions or lack thereof. And this is the decision that I've made to make my wife happy so that we can stay together and save our marriage because this is what I ultimately want. It's not about nobody else. It's about what Whitney wants and that she's standing on it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just that. It was another point I wanted to make. And listening to this, I forget what that was. Um Dang, I can't remember what it was about. Oh man. I can't remember. Dang, I hate when I lose my train of thought. It was something good too, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, and I went up on that live. I don't know if y'all see me to ask May about the whole poly pillow princess thing because if she would have said, yeah, it went on like that, that would have been absolute because that just sounds diabolical. Like, what? Because I remember her telling us like we attempted it, it was awkward, so we didn't do it again. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, I could see if Niecy baby is the one. She said that she's not really sure. She think that it only could have been Niecy. Maybe it was somebody else. I'm not sure who relayed the information, but is it believable that somebody would have tried to twist it, put some sauce on it? Absolutely, because if they know about it, obviously they were close, possibly, or close to someone that May is close to, and somebody in May camp is talking to their friends, and then their friends is telling somebody else, and it's just going around a merry-go-round. So yeah, I wouldn't have. I mean, I can understand because in poly, especially when the wives are close or things like that, they talk about different stuff. They will even ask for it. And some people might find it weird. I wasn't asking nothing like that. But there are people that will come in and say, hey, what can I do to draw us closer? Like, what does he like? And when I say, what does he like? I mean, they're asking for intimacy tips from the other wife. Like, those are conversations that happen amongst wives. And they vent to one another about things that happen. So I can understand in a dynamic where if it's someone who was a girlfriend, she shared that with the girlfriend. But in the same breath, I would think like I probably wouldn't have shared that about Whitney only because we can clearly see how shy Whitney seems, at least to us from the outside. Whitney seems shy. She seems like she really doesn't want people to know that those type of things about her, that she's kind of reserved. So I probably wouldn't have, especially with somebody who, if it was Niecy, no sauce, we've seen how things play out. So I definitely wouldn't have had that type of conversation with her at all. But yeah. I wish I could have went live from StreamYard. I don't know why it wasn't working. But yeah, let's continue.
When I met her, and I did. So we here, and it is what it is. So we poly. So why am I not enough? Y'all know that. I'm gonna touch me not. First off.
And why are people so unrealistic that about sex being an important part of a relationship? A relationship in general, especially marriage. Like with a person who is active. It's an important dynamic. I've seen some older women in the comments like, oh, it shouldn't be important. Oh, I would give it up for a lifetime. I call a bullshit. A bullshit. And I do. If you are a woman who is even older women, 70 years old, 80 years old, is getting it down, popping that thing. Now, if you are someone who is not as sexual, if you are someone who is not as sexual, you are someone who never really cared for sex, like I'm cool, I don't need it or whatever. Okay, you're the exception. But generally speaking, in a normal functioning relationship, a healthy relationship, sex is important. And when sex is lacking in relationships, a lot of times we will hear about people stepping out of their relationships because they are not being satisfied in that area. Now I know many other things that happen that have people step out, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about people that are lacking intimacy and not getting what they need because their partner is withholding, and so then they stepped out. Now I never condone cheating. If you're not getting what you need, I say let it go. Have a conversation, go your separate ways. But this happens time and time again. And if you talk to people, well, we wasn't having Gary Owens, for example. I don't know if y'all ever heard his interview where he talks about the breakdown of his marriage. I don't ultimately know what happened for them to get to that point, but he said that him and his wife wasn't sleeping together in over a year. They had not done anything intimately, and ultimately he ended up stepping out on his wife. He didn't want to leave his wife because he loved her, but ultimately he ended up stepping out on her because she refused to be intimate with them in a relationship. Now Gary could have done something that caused the breakdown in their bedroom. But if she was at a point in their relationship that he did something to prevent her from opening up to him, then she should have talked about leaving him. Because in that dynamic, it was only a matter of time before something like that was going to happen for either them to divorce or somebody to step out and cheat. It's unrealistic to be in a relationship with another person who is sexual and think that they're supposed to just go out for the rest of their lives, especially someone as young as them. May is not old and crippled. She's in her 40s. She still have um God willing, a very long time to live on this earth. And even elderly people well into their 70s and 80s is bumping uglies. Like, even them. So I think it's super unrealistic to be like, oh, sex is not important. Oh, you could just not have it. Oh, you could just go without. No, that's unrealistic. We could just part ways. We could just part ways and you could go your way and I'll go find me get some cooter. Like what? It's unrealistic. We gotta, but I realize a lot of people say certain things because of who it's about, and they will just say anything that don't even make no sense. Like, and so I think people just need to be realistic. Even if poly is not for you, obviously it's something that Whitney has chose to attempt to use as a resolution for her marriage. And we'll have to see what happens. Maybe it will work, maybe it won't. We see Whitney struggling right now, it seems like, but 6 months, a year from now, poly might be easy breezy, lemon squeezy. The highest rate of STDs is in the senior community because they be in there busting it down with the same man at the senior citizens home. And y'all talking about somebody in their 40s supposed to just go without. No, that ain't happening. That's not what's about to go down at all. It's not. Hey, Francia, without sex is just a friendship. Mm-hmm. Not unless she find another touch me not. Because they out there. If she'll find one that's for her, she hasn't thus far, but I don't think that's what she's looking for. And people want to make this not. People like to forget that it is not unrealistic, even with knowing that. I don't know where they get this whole thing that Whitney's never done. Whitney, well, I know Whitney never let people touch her, from my understanding, in her previous relationships, right? But people think that it is unrealistic for her to have shared a conversation with her now wife and said, I'm saving that for after marriage. Many women save themselves for after marriage. And even in the dynamic of I only would give, but I never would receive, because we have women who will be sexually active and you know, think that having sex is like them preserving themselves. Baby, that hole getting blown out, you got blown out. The one probably ain't getting blown up, but that's still, you still gave it up. You know what I'm saying? But people have this thing in their mind that if it's not through the vaginal canal, that I'm saving it. They save that one part. So it's not unrealistic for Whitney to have had the conversation like, listen, nah, I never done nothing there. I'm waiting for marriage. I wanna give that up to the person who I'm married to. That is realistic. It's not unrealistic, even at her age. I know people who are older than Whitney who are still the V word, who are saving themselves for marriage. Like, I know people personally, not me just saying, oh, I seen it on TV. I know people personally in real life, more than one, that is untouched. They date, they engage, and see what's up, but they date intentionally and they date for marriage. So if you're not ready for marriage, they not finna go much further with you. They finna keep it locked down, clink, clink, clink. So it is a thing. It may not be, these type of people may not be in abundance, but they are around. So it's not unrealistic for Whitney to have been serious about that. And so from our understanding, Whitney pushed for the marriage. They got married, and then she didn't hold up to her end of the bargain. Like, from our understanding, some things did transpire here and there, But she said May mentioned 10 times. They've been together for almost 10 years. Just 10 times? That's it? That's it. That's nothing. That's a drop in the bucket. Barely. That's a drop in the bucket, barely. Oh my Lancer, I'm being serious. Like, that's the thing. Is it? I know it's like people don't want to hear, but that's the thing. There are women that will preserve the one hole, but let the other hole be blown out, talking about they reserving it. It's a thing. It's a thing. Especially children that grew up in households that were really religious and, talking about, holding them, like, it's a thing. Yes. People still have morals and boundaries. Um, I don't know how realistic it is in 2025. I mean, I said they older than Whitney, so thus far it ain't worked out for them. But there are a lot of people willing to go to the grave literally without experiencing that one time in their life. So yeah, there's that. There's that. But that was pretty much my 2 cents. I really wanted to give more of a insider perspective. Poly is not rainbows and glitter. Seeing Whitney go through emotional turmoil, if that's what we witnessed yesterday, because I don't know, it could have just been because she was drinking the Tito's, and she could be just a crybaby when she drink. There are people that just cry and act out when they drink. But if she was being emotional and was being sensitive, um that could very much so be a thing. And if so, it is not uncommon for people to decide to be in poly, to go through these different stages in poly. And some people move through these stages pretty quickly. Other people other people who be going through it for a very long time. And like I said, some people get over that hump and become stable and able to stand on their feet and move forward in a relationship. And then some people along the lines realize, I can't deal with this, it's not for me, I'm gonna go ahead and move forward. Like myself, I never would have pegged me for being able to deal with poly. But when I got into poly, it was super hard in the beginning. But eventually I was like, hey girl, what's up, what you doing? We going to the masjid together. Hey, did you read this book? Oh, you cooking? I cook. I make this. Y'all gonna come over here? I'll cook. I'll cook. Y'all gonna come over here? Y'all want me to come over there? I'll come over there and cook. We spending Ramadans together. I do breakfast today. She do breakfast another day. Um, yeah. Now I don't know about that in this marriage because you're a little bit different as far as my willingness to share. When it come to that one. So that ain't on the table for us. Not right now. Now I don't see it happening ever. But Allah knows best, what the future will bring. But baby, if we were to get into poly, I could see that being a whole mess for me. It would be super difficult. Um, child, let me tell you something. I would be a complete A double scribble. I could see it now. Tantrums, acting childish, all types of stuff. But guess what? I'm gonna stick it out and I'm gonna try to make it work. And then after some time, if it don't work out, then I might have to make other, plans or whatever like that. But trying something that is out the norm for people, because out the norm for society, because we not are accustomed to it, doesn't make it wrong. It doesn't make her being used. It doesn't make her being abused. It doesn't make her incapable or insane for making the decision. It's just that you are not comfortable with it. You have not experienced it, and it's not something you are willing to do. But we all are different, and we all have to make our own decisions for what will work for us in life. But that was pretty much the 2 cents that I had, that nobody asked me for, that I wanted to give because I felt like I had just a little bit of insight. And like I said, this is a norm, not meaning that this is the only way, but watching what we saw is not uncommon when you talk about Dylan and Polly. And again, this is all my own opinion, me speculating. Um, this is all my, some of this is opinion, some of this is facts based off of life experiences. Nothing that I said about Whitney when I was, kind of putting things together. It's just my own viewpoint. I don't know if that's really how Whitney feels, how she see it, unless she said it. And that's just dead on that. Hopefully nothing I said in this live will offend anyone. Or and I hope that nobody feels like I'm put them under attack, because it was never given any of that. It was just my perspective and opinion. And it doesn't change anyone else's truth. All right, y'all. Enjoy the rest of y'all evening. I'm gonna go ahead and get on up out of here. Enjoy your night. Toodles.